shit. I think we did it. I think we showed up on time and everything worked. I don't understand. This must be some kind of alternate timeline. I'm not sure. Oh,
Ryan, we've all gathered here so we could know that there is an alternate timeline.
goddamn right. Joined by Meryl Barr and, of course, Justin Robert Young. It's happy hour. It's Monday. How happy and how houry are we feeling?
Man, I feel like I'm jam packed here. Been doing shit since 5:55 in the fucking morning.
What were you doing at 5 in the morning?
Because you wake up at like 6, right? That's your normal wake up time?
I usually wake up. Yeah, that's normally when I wake up.
But you immediately start doing like content or what?
No. Here's the sketch. Make coffee.
Mm.
Me and the wife go for a little walk. Usually done with that by about, around 6:45, 7ish, depending on how we're rolling. Then a little breakfast. I cook a few eggs. But today, and then normally I just get ready. Everything's in prep for the streams, right? But today I got some stuff after this, and so it was 8 to 9 o'clock PX3 Extra, 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock. I went to go get that COVID test. 10 o'clock to 11:30 stream, and then weird things from 11:30 to 1:30, a little 30-minute luncharoo, and now we're rocking and rolling here.
So talk to me about the COVID thing, because I got the antibody test, which was a blood test. They just stabbed me in the finger and said, yeah, you never had it. If you thought you had it, you're an asshole. Really wish you hadn't run around telling people you had it.
Wait, is that news? Are we actually breaking news here?
No, I mean, outside of the news is I don't have the antibodies.
You did not.
What you had after you licked the bar was just random bar illness.
Yeah. I had about what you would expect from licking a random bar. Yeah.
You had the predictable reaction to somebody who licks a filthy, disgusting. In fact, you licked that bar at probably the dirtiest it will ever be, considering where the standards of hygiene. If you go, you got it at peak filth.
Back before it was fashionable to bother to clean your bar. Yeah.
Yes. How are you feeling about that, Brian, that you don't have the antibodies? I would expect that it's kind of a bummer.
A great sense of letdown in him.
Yeah, no, I think that's accurate. I was hoping to at least have something behind me, but instead it's all in front of me. It's like, I mean, ask anybody who's stood under a sword of Damocles. Are you a bit bummed that it came out that the sword of Damocles still staying, hanging above you? Do you wish it was behind you? Yeah, no, I do.
Yeah.
But do you want to get COVID? There are days where I wonder, does Brian want to get COVID so he can get over COVID?
I want to no longer worry about COVID. Yes. And if the path to get there is a hero's journey of getting the COVID and having it behind you, and then you get to have it in the past, of all the places I want COVID, I want it not in the future. I want it completely in the past.
Can I just say this? If Bonnie and Ashley said today that it was okay for Brian and I to go to Sweden with the deliberate the deliberate quest to get COVID, recover, and then come back, then you would be getting the Stockholm Night Attack album by Christmas. Like that God. We would be on a flight this afternoon to go to Stockholm with the deliberate idea of, can somebody please cough in my mouth so I can wrap this shit up.
There are days where I wonder, what are the things that bring Brian and Justin together as people? Because they're not really the same person. They don't have a lot of the same personality traits. And then you find out both of them would like to get COVID so they can get over it. They would both like to go to Sweden to get sick and then get over it. That's what brings them together.
Do you want to know how accurate that assessment is? I think I share frustration with Justin. Even if we were to do this, there's not enough people that have COVID in Sweden for us to we'd have to track down 80 people who are about to die to
Well,
get
yeah,
deaths?
well, that's the deaths. But all of their restaurants are open, and they are getting it at a higher rate. So
in the entire country, there's only 6,000 people. How are we going to find them?
I mean, why even go to Sweden? Just literally roam the U.S. unprotected. Justin flies to Austin. You both seclude in the compound for 2 weeks, and you keep trying to get it. That's your new YouTube series. You both in Austin constantly try to get COVID.
No. This is not. I'm not fucking humping out into the wilds of wherever to try and get this. I'm talking about if it was just like, hey, go to dank, poorly ventilated bars in Stockholm and just do a lot of putting your hand on your eyeballs periodically. And then eventually you get sick and eventually you just spend a couple days in the hotel and then eventually you get back on a plane. Oh my God. I would do it immediately.
I mean, here's the hypothetical. You go to Sweden, you contract COVID, both of you, you're sharing a hotel room. How much content are you producing in the hotel room during that period? What content?
Well, let's not get crazy. We could probably get 2 hotel rooms, but certainly we would be producing content on a staggering level.
Yeah, dude. It would be called the peephole. We would drill a hole between the two sides, and then we would both constantly report on, it looks like he's coughing. I think he's upset. He probably regrets having the COVID.
Oh, no. If one of us got it, perfect. We'll just cough in the other one's mouth, and here we go. Like now we're rocking and rolling.
Okay, hold on. So
Jesus.
Real question. One of us gets it, and we know we have it. What is our mutually agreed upon preferred way to infect the other? Do we go to OnlyFans and kiss, and at least we make money, or? Do we cough on each other? Do we lick lollipops?
I would say a cough, or
I don't know, man. How much do you think somebody would pay us on OnlyFans
to kiss, to make
kiss,
out,
knowing that one of us was definitely able to show that we were definitely
a hot
infected?
COVID kiss.
I don't know how hot
I know Wolf Glenn 99 would subscribe.
Yeah, I feel like even just thinking about this or putting this out to the audience is going to reveal a staggering heretofore unknown relationship that the audience has.
We're going to receive 2
Hold
things in the mail. One, $400 in unmarked bills, and also a lollipop says, one of you lick this first.
Is there night attack /fic?
What?
Is there night attack
there's
/fic?
certainly some people have done. Somebody sent me something. I didn't read it, but I do remember that there was some kind of.
Isn't
I
even
do know there's
/fic when we're
filmcast /fic.
I mean, is it /fic when you're describing actual sexual acts you've engaged in? Like, isn't that just slash fact?
No. This would be great show, said Justin to Brian. He was excited that he had come down to Austin. Yeah, I really think that we should work on our timing more. Like that kind of /fic. Like us engaging in an illicit gay love affair.
Okay, but what would be the best way to transmit the disease?
Again, I would say a cough or a spit maybe if we want to get really you want to make sure that you get the job done.
Share a drink.
Sharing a drink. What the? Come on, this isn't. I mean, we want to ensure that we get COVID here.
You sneeze into the drink, then you share the drink. There.
A round of Hearthstone.
Just a lot of touching our face. Just a lot of touching each other's face and touching our face.
A round of Hearthstone where we take turns controlling with our tongue and then hand off the phone.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah, that would be gross. What would be the most efficient way? I am curious. If you were trying to
Face Hunter.
No, you guys, no.
You
remember,
were trying.
it's that GIF. No, it's that GIF that you guys. It's that GIF you guys have that pops up when someone gets bit sometimes when you're spitting into each other's faces.
Oh, that on my channel. Yeah, no, when we did the spit take.
Oh yeah.
For Tom Merritt. Yeah,
that is pretty good. I think that is how I would want.
And then now you have a new GIF for bits.
Okay, so
Yeah.
so then what do we? Has anybody started a podcast where they just like document what it's like to have coronavirus?
Well, the Chris Cuomo's
there's a lot of
thing.
descriptions. Yeah, I think the biggest thing is hard to breathe. Like it gets like that's the one debilitating thing for which is like beyond the pale of just it hitting you like a Mack truck, is that in the worst case scenarios, people have like breathing becomes labored. And then also there's a lot of like, you got better, no, you didn't. Like those are the two things that are kind of like unique.
I can't speak for you two. I know I would prefer to not have the COVID. I'm good with that. I'm good with being cautious, wearing a mask, wearing gloves when I go out, being
you
aware
don't
of my
mind
surroundings.
being a marked man forever and ever, and ever and ever and ever. Just always know.
Well, no, just until there's a vaccine, then I can no longer be a marked man.
I bet you would love witness protection. Just constantly being afraid when it's gonna get you.
All right, I have.
Yeah.
Can I veer us to another topic? I would like to.
I dare you.
But still within. I want to talk about content creation, if that's okay.
Sure.
So I've been doing the Twitch for a while. I've as Justin saw over the weekend and tweeted to me, I elevated it over the weekend. I have a green screen now. Having fun with that and doing live movie watches, and I've hit a wall where I'm at the place where I need to start figuring out how to expand what I'm offering on that channel, because my movie watches alone are not going to cut it forever if I want this to be a thing I enjoy doing regularly. And I also know I was talking to a friend over the weekend, and I'm talking to a friend today who did a stream over the weekend, and he said, yeah, we had the best time because we were playing Mario Kart, and they've come to realize over at that channel that the Twitch audience, above anything else, which is what really makes it different from the rest of the internet, loves watching people having a good time. Where the rest of the internet is like, watch these people do something stupid and terrible and enjoy their follies. Where you guys like having a good time on all your shows. That's what people like. And I'm having a good time when I'm watching good movies. I tell everyone there's a thing sometimes on my stream where you can the bit boss can pick the next movie sometimes. And I always say the better the movie, the better the stream. Because if you make me if you tell me to watch The Last Airbender, the movie, I'm gonna do it, and it's gonna be a shit stream because I'm gonna hate watching it. There's no joy in me hate watching something. There is joy in me watching Back to the Future, where I can come up with the hashtag thirsty for Calvin, right? for Marty's mom.
Sure.
So, like, what do I expand?
Do you find
what
it
are my
easier
choices?
to write good material about stuff you already love, or because I
Yes,
I think I know for me, I'm probably speaking for Justin too. I find it way easier to write material about things I hate. I don't find love to be a very potent place to.
It depends on the medium. Like if I can write when I'm annoyed with, like, when I was still at Forbes, I found it way easier to write about things that annoyed me about the industry, right? And choices that were being made in the industry that I thought were poor choices. But only in that medium did that ever work. Anywhere else, I can't write when I'm writing a script, it's got to be about a story I love. If I'm creating stuff like on the Twitch, when I'm watching a movie I actually enjoy, that's when the stream's at its best. But even so, I can't live off the live movie watches forever, right? If I want my Twitch to grow, what do I do? What are my options here?
I mean, number one, you're gonna ask us, and we are the least of the people to tell you how to grow your channel, because we watch your channel less than you watch your channel, and that means your audience. Like, the biggest thing that you can do, what you are explaining right now is, okay, I like to watch good movies, I don't like to watch bad movies, right? Everything that you're discovering about yourself and your relation to your audience, imagine it's right now you're looking at a big ass dirt pile, and you have just discovered the edge of a dinosaur fossil, right?
Okay.
Now, the rest of what you need to do is just keep going in that direction. So If it's like, okay, let's play a game. What kind of game do you think your audience would be most excited about? Is it movie trivia? Is it Jackbox? Is it something more competitive? Like, try things. You got to try it. Sometimes you're going to realize that you're just brushing dirt around the desert. And sometimes you're going to realize, oh my God, that's the tip of its, head or whatever.
Also, keep in mind, you're talking about watching movies. People watch other things. For example, there's a class of people whose full-time jobs is to watch live sporting events and give commentary in the moment as to how they're going. How much of that? Look into the esports arena. I mean, there's you could watch a thing and talk about it.
Well, right. Yeah. Look, just listen to your audience. Your audience will tell you. The audience for us early on with BB Live Show, it led Brian to go from BB Live Show being a behind the scenes magic show to a talk show. It started out as a behind the scenes magic show, and it more and more became a show about a more talk radio-y kind of show that eventually had this kind of pranky sort of let's do a fun mischievous thing element.
Is Twitch thing?
Not because Brian and I love pulling pranks. Like, I don't think Brian or I are necessarily like a prank guy, but the audience wanted it, and the audience loved our enthusiasm for when it happened, and we just kind of steered into that skid. But that's where that DNA, the DNA would have never started if Brian and I, even at that point in our friendship, had come up with like, all right, show, let's plan show. What do we do on show? Like, I don't even know what do you think that would have been at the time, Brian? Me and you at that point in our friendship.
I mean, it would have been like, yeah, let's show old clips of my magic performance. That'd be a show.
Yeah.
And I think probably was a show at some point.
Do you think that
it would probably be a Scam School recap.
Centric. Yeah.
Like, do you think you guys could have gotten more so Brian, do you think you could have gotten where you got if you were launching solo and then did not find the joy that is Justin Robert Young and invite him on that one time and then have that expand?
No.
Because that's where I'm at. I'm at this point where it's like I've never tried to do like I have my podcasts and stuff. All my podcasts are always interview based podcasts, right? Or there was always another side to bounce off of. This is the first time it's me, the mic and the camera, and the audience that can't speak, right? I've never done this before. Yeah. So that I'm finding this other.
Now we're in the realm of Justin's expertise, and I do believe it can be done. And we've watched Justin do it. I would imagine it's some version of have a conversation with a different version of yourself that has you say a thing, and it's like, now I know what you're thinking. The opposite of that thing. Well, let's talk about that, and then you're talking to yourself.
Yeah. So Justin, but did you want to do one mic prior to teaming up with Brian? Yeah. Okay. So what?
No. Prior to teaming up with Brian, I mean, in a lot of ways, I was already doing a one mic show. Like, I was doing all the
news.
Yeah, the iTricks news podcasts that were all of that, and the Magic Week in Review. Even then, now that I think about it, is kind of the same format as like politics is now. It was me doing news and then having an interview, but they were two two different segments of the show. So I was doing it to a certain extent, but not in the kind of like free flow, like you are here for me and my opinion. It was much more here I am being a good steward of the news for you. But I mean, I've always been fascinated by it. I've always enjoyed it. The biggest thing that you need to figure out is like, you got to figure out what your relationship is with the audience. That's step one. Now, step two is figuring out what the audience's relationship with you is. And then the final part about it is that getting it to that harmonious place and keeping it there, because that's always kind of a, like, your desires go in a different place. Their desires go in a different place. There's new people, things rise and fall. But that's the big key.
Is Twitch a place that rewards effort, or are they like something shiny? Like, so what I mean by that is Twitch a place where not the audience that I have, right, which are mostly just like Junkfood Cinema fans who port over once in a while, more like just but new people, new discovery. Is Twitch a place that only wants zeitgeist? So like right now it would be Animal Crossing, or are there audience spectrums of Twitch that will venture out and search around and try to find new shit? Because I've noticed that, like, I've seen some new people pop up who are playing video. For example, there's like a couple streamers I've seen pop up who are new, who are just playing video games, and all they're doing is literally just playing the game. They're on screen with a mic, but they're not talking. And I can't imagine playing a game and not trying to engage.
That is one thing that you will absolutely have to let go. There is no world in which you derive any satisfaction where you compare yourself to anyone else anywhere at any time under any circumstances. So decide in your heart to completely let go those comparisons and instead just ask yourself, what will please my audiences more? Me performing less, me performing more, me playing Animal Crossing, me playing bowling, me doing the crazy dare that they are daring me to do or not choosing to do so. The one thing I know for a fact is that the path to abject misery and complete paralysis is paved with checking in, air quotes, on what other people are doing.
Okay. And if you want to commit to that game, if you want to commit to the like, let's see what everybody else is doing and let's figure out the best way that I can do it, man, is it a hard road to do it in a way that you want to go ahead and do it. And it's like, I mean, that's kind of the game that like Ali Spagnola is playing, but like that lady works harder than anyone I have ever met at any level. I've
seen the abs
and has pivoted more times than anyone I've ever seen. Like she eventually discovered her own lane, and nobody can defeat her at her lane now because she found it on her own and it's hers. And good luck to anybody who wants to try to play catch up on that.
But she tried a million. I mean, like she went like through a million different things to get there, and learned something from all of them. And by the time that she got to that one level, she was ready for it. But for I think our lesson is far more be true to yourself, put in more effort than anybody wants to understand.
Here's what I will say. I have no dreams to like become like the David Letterman of Twitch, right? Where it's like, I think, Brian, you would love to have a late night talk show, or Justin, you would love to have a late night talk show. You guys would, right? Based on, you have a late night talk show, but like a traditional like late night talk show is. I have no dreams for that. However, I always loved being on mic on my podcasts. And when I made the commitment to let that go after Word Tetris, I immediately missed it almost, instantly. And I always wished I had like an ability to do one man operation, one man, one mic, because the hardest part about all those shows that I was doing was getting guests.
Booking.
It was booking. Oh, when you don't have a booker, booking is the worst. So I do feel like the live watches scratch that itch, and I want to keep scratching that itch. And I'm just trying to figure out other ways I can do that without it just being me watching a movie, because that's getting tired now, even for me.
So why don't you try? And this is just me throwing out garbage to see what lands. Like, what if you were to do it where you don't bother to watch the movie? Like, I know you've seen the movie.
That's what I've been thinking about.
Like, just give me 30 minutes where you describe from beginning to end how Tron Legacy goes, or how the third installment of the Harry Potter series goes, or just tell me, talk to me, tell me a story.
Right. Something. Yeah. Just me, the audience, and the mic. Something. Yeah. I've been thinking about logging on just when I have some more free time, just literally logging on.
I mean, honestly, the thing, keep the story going with your chat. Whatever, like if whenever you're like, what should I do? Like, look into the abyss of that chat, and I don't care if there's 5 people there. Like, then be like, hey, what do you guys think about blank? Literally anything.
Mm-hmm.
Do they react? What do you think about this? What do you think about that? What do you think about it? Find a thing that you get a reaction from and then try it. Figure it out. Because even if it's not a full pivot, if you want to try Animal Crossing and you just see what it's like and the audience is like, it's a good try, but I don't think we're into Animal Crossing, then you stop doing it and do another thing. Like just honestly, like this is not everything that you're saying right now. The fallacy is that you're going to find it in, you know, an expert's opinion. But especially with internet stuff, there is one relationship that matters. Like the people that show up on Saturdays to watch movies with you for whatever reason, the DNA is there. That's and if it's not everything that you will forever be, it's the DNA to get to the DNA for sure.
Gotcha.
Well,
Gotcha.
The way I think of it is you're building an engine, and a good engine runs on input. It also runs on lack of input. So like when you have whatever the thing is, it's like, what do you guys think of blank? And all of a sudden a bunch of input. You're like, great, that's easy for me to riff on or whatever. Dead silence. You're like, you know what? I'm really glad that not one person responded to this, because that tells me blank, and the engine runs and you're able to go.
Gotcha.
Like the engine should be able to run
You're saying
whether anybody's talking or not.
This is a case where, I mean, this is always true in all creative endeavors, but particularly for the internet stuff. Failure informs just as much as success, because you know what doesn't work.
But again, I it's hard for me to, if Justin and I were to go live and say, this is a call-in show and nobody called in, I don't think we would have any trouble filling the air, and I would look askance at anyone who called that a failure, because it's like, no, that was the engine, and nobody put any gas in the engine, but pretty sure we ran our mouths and told stories and confessed things to each other and had epiphanies and got somewhere at the end of that hour. So gotcha. It's like even that word, the F word, I don't know that I would see much of a point to.
Look at it like this. Even what you're saying now of like, hey, I'm getting tired of watching these movies. You guys getting tired of watching these movies? Like, this is a dialogue. It's not whether or not it is, right? But just even the things that you have explained in those exact words.
Yep.
If you say that back to the audience, so that's the honesty, right? And initially what you're going to want to do personally is pull back on that, because it's going to sound like you are complaining or you don't want to, you're sending like a bad vibe to your community. But here's where the magic happens. You also have the stick-to-itiveness and the effort to be there the next day or the next time you're supposed to be, and you're going to bring something else, right? So it's like, never think of the like, God, is this boring to anybody? Do people like this? It's like, that's fine. The honesty's fine. And if people are digging it, then figure out a way that you can. Again, this is your relationship to the chat. How do I make it more interesting for me? Should I have a bunch of stories that I pre-populate so I can just have something to talk about during the stuff? Like, or is everybody like, you want to know, once a week's fine. Other than that, let's fucking try something else.
Playing it. Yeah, because I'm already playing in my head. And what I'm immediately realizing is I didn't hate Back to the Future on Saturday. That was fun as shit, right? And when we did Lethal Weapon, that was fun as shit. What wasn't fun as shit is Romeo Must Die, which someone bought, like, by being BitBoss the previous week, bought for me to watch. And that wasn't fun. And Last Airbender wasn't fun. And I'm realizing that, you're right. When it's once a week and I'm controlling what I watch, means I'm going to pick something I like, then it's fun. So I think what is I've oversaturated the market on it.
Well,
for myself,
I would say for you, if your audience enjoys watching you squirm, which at least for us, that's a portion of it. A portion of it is that Brian or Justin get over their skis or say something embarrassing or admit something they probably shouldn't. There's that naughty element of like, oh, like if they do like you watching shit movies, how do you make it enjoyable? How do you like it? And if it's a total no-go, then you don't steer the audience in that direction. But otherwise, it's like, again, this is where you meet them. Like, this is the process.
It's a bit like I don't know. I was talking to the kids and they were in the middle of fighting and they knew they wanted to play ping pong, but I'm like, hey, ping pong's a weird game in that it takes both of you to decide to play. And at any point, either one of you can tap out and say, I'm no longer going to serve the next ball or whatever, which means both of you get to set up the rules for each other, right? So it's like somebody wants you to watch Point Break, but they want you to watch it with the audio from Dark Side of the Moon or whatever. It doesn't matter. Something that in general you don't think you're going to get a lot out of. The answer in true comedic fashion is yes, if. Absolutely. That sounds crazy. My one rule is that every 5 minutes I get to stop and play a Dunkin' Donuts commercial. And then you break it up, and then whatever the thing is, it doesn't matter. Yeah, right. Because you're giving them that they want, or at least what they're asking for, but then giving them what they really want, which is you having a good time encountering new ideas.
So what this does reinforce what me and my friend discussed, which is Twitch rewards people having a good time more than any other platform, I think, on the internet. Twitch rewards.
Twitch is about community.
Or a comedically awful time.
Yeah,
I mean, they do reward both ways.
Yeah, Twitch is about community. So it's a little bit more like on YouTube, you can watch somebody be, or a more consumer medium, you can watch somebody be just like prank videos, right? Somebody just being a dickhead to somebody else. And you're like, oh my God, I can't imagine how I would react if I saw that live. What a crazy person. I bet you that dude's probably fucked up and he's an actual sociopath. Anyway, I would like to subscribe for more weird encounters by this weird person. Twitch is different in that you're spending so much time and you're much more visible that it's like, if you do laugh, there is a lot of people laughing at somebody stepping on a plank and it hitting somebody in the face, but it's in the way that when your best friend steps on a plank and it hits him in the face, and it's the funniest thing on the planet. Yeah, not because they weren't in pain, but because you know them, and now there's
That's actually a pretty good setup for it, because the difference is on Twitch, your very next move, if you have the ability, is to call that person who stepped on a plank and took it in the face and get him right on the line right in that moment. Whereas on YouTube, that's the last thing you would want to do, because it would accidentally humanize him and you were too engaged in reducing him or her. You know, so as long as you know, I don't know, Twitch, and I think you've seen some of that DNA on our show, where it's like the moment we giggle too hard, our next move is like, how can we get this person on the show? So because we want to celebrate, you know, that this is an insane rap or an insane green screen performance or what have you.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I have a lot to think about now. Should I get into Hearthstone? Is that what you're saying?
Man, I don't know. Hearthstone's kind of dry right now. I'm not feeling a lot from it. What about you, Justin?
I got up to like rank 3 and then I fell back to 5, and now I think I'm at 4 again, but I was rocking and rolling with that Dragon Hunter deck, and then I just started sucking all kinds of eggs. I went to Egg Warrior, sucked those eggs. I went to I fucking caved with Tempo Demon Hunter, and that sucked because there's so many better players.
I still refuse to play Demon Hunter at all. And I want to see how long.
It just sucks because also all you do is get into mirror matches, and there's other people who know how to play that deck better than I do. So I'm like, fuck this too. And so I went Face Hunter, which I'm good at, and I think the meta's a little bit more right for that. So I've been doing okay with that.
That is exactly where I'm at. But also, it's like it's late in the month, and it's like, yeah, I'm not going to hit Legend, whatever.
Wait, where are you at?
5-4 Diamond.
Yeah. So that's not far away.
Yeah, but it might be work.
That's like one decent heater, and you're like knocking on the door.
Look, man,
That's one
I don't have my
Saturday stream.
superpower. I can't go to a bar. I can't order an IPA. I can't
Ah!
play with my.
Stop it!
But if
or
you,
else
but
we're gonna
you-
we're gonna
that's why
wind up
you,
in Stockholm.
but that's why you Twitch stream it while you're mukbanging, and then you just let the audience be.
It's not the same. Meryl, you asked earlier how much content we would make. To be totally honest, probably not as much as you would think, because 90%
because you'd
of
be
Brian
playing
and I
Hearthstone
together-
the entire time.
at a bar, barely talking to each other.
So good.
Like it's the best. It's the best. It is.
Look,
it is- it is-
it's not that I don't get it. Like, there's a coffee shop here in LA I cannot go to right now. That, like, my whole thing is often, almost every day, sometimes twice a day, I go to this coffee shop. I order a $5 iced tea. I take it out to the outside table. I sit down and talk to no one. Just watch the people walk by. Listen to a podcast.
Could we do a comedy sketch called "Highlights of 2 Hours of Brian and Justin sitting at a bar independently playing Hearthstone while drinking independently without speaking to each other, except for the following moments." Character 1, Brian. This motherfucker.
Oh, what do you? That's yeah. So Brian saying this motherfucker, and then me saying, "Oh, what do you play?" I don't even get to playing. It's oh, what do you play? And then my head just kind of leans over to see what his photo's doing,
And it's just like, and then me saying, "Because you know," and then Justin nods, and I hit a button, and both of us same time like, fuck that.
Fuck that.
Have a drink. Like that
That's
is
it?
that is the epitome. That is the epitome.
Wait, no, Brian, who can forget this classic? You gonna do another?
Yeah.
That's the other.
One
That's
more.
the other one.
One more. Close this out. Just one more.
One more. Just one more and close this out.
Yeah.
I know I already closed out, so I'm gonna pay cash for this round. By the way, hey, thank you to Double Toasted rated us for the first time. So
Holy shit.
super pumped to see the boys at Double Toasted showing
I got to meet Martin for the first time a few weeks back because Brian Salisbury had figured out this thing called StreamYard to figure out how to get guests into the Twitch on Junk Food Cinema. So after he had streamed a movie one night, I think it was a movie or maybe something else. They realized Martin was awake, so they called in Martin, and then I was there too. So I got to engage with Martin for the first time ever.
So where
That
do
was
we
a
send
joy.
people from our family? Twitch.tv/Double Toasted.
Wait, what?
You said Double Toasted?
Double Toasted, yeah, they rated us. So I think they're probably, I think they might be done streaming because they sent their people here.
Yeah, no, I know that there was a bit of a discussion about whether or not they were even going to do Twitch. Yeah, there we go, right on. Just because they had so much of their stuff behind the paywall. So that's freaking dope. This is all news to me that we're live on Twitch alongside our friends.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, no. They've been doing it for a while. They've been kicking ass. Just a
I think I should give them a follow right
great
now.
job by them. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, no, everybody go follow Double Toasted. Hell yeah. We got to have them back on. It's been too long with Corey and Martin. Maybe when people are allowed to be next to each other.
Yeah, speaking of which, you want to just place rando bets? When do you think the first of me and you gets on an airplane?
Oh, we're closer to that. I mean, I need a reason. If I had a reason to get on an airplane right now, I would get on an airplane today.
Yeah? Do you want the COVID? I can go catch it.
You want that vid?
I mean,
Here, all right,
Viddle me
here's the
this.
honest question. Justin, all right, so here's the honest question. Justin, you just got tested for COVID. Brian, I'm
Yeah.
sure testing in Texas is not far behind.
no. I already did. I did
if
the
Justin could get
antibody
on a-
test.
We did the antibody test, but you haven't done the am I in the middle of it test.
Right,
Am I
right.
asymptomatic
Do I
Because I
have
have
it
no
right
symptoms,
now?
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, because now you know you don't have the antibody, so you know you could get it. So if Justin could get tested, which he just did, before he were to go out, and then were to fly out, and then Justin, you could hang out at the compound for a week and just compound nowhere else. Would you do it? and you knew it was safe because you knew Ryan didn't have it?
Oh, I don't give a fuck about getting COVID. Like, so like if you are painting a scenario where I don't care about getting COVID. I care about giving it to my wife who has asthma. Right. So like if Brian was like, "Meh, I've been coughing a lot and I've lost my taste and smell, but I don't know. I think it's allergies.
Yo,
do you want to come down
toes,
if there's like a thing to do?" I would
look at
do
how
it.
weirdly pink and red they are.
Like I would go. The as long as I was going somewhere and if I got it, I could just wait it out before I came back. I could know that I was safe before I came back. You know, to that would get my wife sick. The biggest issue now is like that's not the scenario that would likely happen. The more likely scenario is we go down, I have a great time, we record a bunch of stuff, we do a bunch of stuff, and then on my way back, somebody has it at the airport and I bring it from there. Like that would be the worry. And so that's why it's like I would need a reason to go do a thing. Like I would need to have to, like if politics started up again and there was a rally, like I would go and be there at that rally.
You know what? Can we do a very, very brief check-in on politics? Politics.
Yeah.
They're boring now. When did that happen?
Oh man, you're just not listening to the right fucking podcast, brother. Okay. Number one, can we pour one out for your boy?
Yep.
Your boy, pour one out. Only for a moment, and the moment's gone. What is your Brian Brushwood?
Oh, is Justin Amash out?
Oh yeah.
Brief few weeks of Justin Amash.
It you know what? I don't blame him. I remember being 40, and if you told me, hey, you're gonna eat all the garbage in the world, and people will remember you for decades to come and blame you for either their guy or not their guy winning. Nobody will remember your message or your intent. What do you say? Are you into it? And possibly your own party won't even like that you're running. I don't blame them.
I mean, but why hint it? I just think he couldn't get money. I think that when the rubber met the road, there was not enough people that were like, hell yeah, take my money, you gotta run.
Yeah, I think that the way to take that test, the litmus test, has to involve you saying, I'm opening an exploratory committee. And then when it comes back perfectly neutral, totally tepid, both sides not happy about it, nobody wanting to spend money, you're all like, I've got my answer. The answer is no. Yeah.
And I think that's the big thing. Whiskey Wolf says too many people remember what happened to Gary Johnson last time. But I mean, I don't even know how that would even factor into it. Gary Johnson was a good politician that had flighty moments, and when the heat got really, really hot, like he flubbed in a time that was loud and embarrassing. That's not the problem for Amash. Amash is young. Amash can talk really well. The bigger problem, I think, is number one, to me, this might be the end of like the electoral viability of Never Trump. Like that the idea that like there's enough Never Trump Republicans or conservatives that would vote for anyone, like, you know, Biden, Amash, like that. It's just like, all right, yeah, there's people who are really loud. People who used to be in charge of things are very, very annoyed that they're no longer in charge of things, and they will be loud about it. But I don't know if it's the people, if the people out there aren't just like, no, it's red team and blue team. And sometimes red's really red and sometimes it's muted. Sometimes blue's really blue. Sometimes it's muted, but I like red and I like blue. And if I don't like either of those, I like staying home and complaining.
Yeah, I'm curious. If I was to guess, and please don't think I'm speaking for him, but like outside of Andrew Heaton, I can't think of anyone who's never Trump that is comfortable voting for Biden. I think that the Never Trump crowd is solidly on the red team, and like, well, let's not be crazy. It's not like I'd vote blue.
Yeah, they'll just be like, hold their nose harder, Trump voters.
Yeah.
Right. Like,
yeah.
Like that's more likely. Yeah. You know, I mean, I'm annoyed because I need content, and I would have liked Amash to run. And I just love how mad people get about third parties.
Well,
God, is it like one of my
especially
favorite
because
things.
beneath the surface, and on this, I just want to engage in the gossip, like just the entitlement and everybody trying to think that they don't look like smug, entitled pieces of shit when they talk about like, well, it's just not fair because, you know, you're really stealing my votes. Like, your votes, are they?
Yeah. Are they? Especially when like third party candidates, it's like, you know, they're underfunded. They barely have any money. They rely almost totally on earned media. Like that, the greatest political benefit that a third party candidate has are people bitching about third party candidates. It keeps their name out there. It advertises their platform, and it gets them out to people that are put off by people who loudly bitch about third parties. But to me, it's just like, it is always the most impotent cry from any side that does it, that they're just like, well, if it wasn't for this underfunded wackadoodle, like, I would have had it all. I swear,
yeah,
it was that banana
to do with the
wheel.
47% of people that just don't vote.
It's Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone arguing about how hold on, I can land this, about how Steve Buscemi's fucking it up for both of them.
Yeah.
like how he was like, I would have had that role if it weren't for Steve Buscemi.
Yeah, no, it's like when like Seth Rogen starts doing action stuff, and they're like, fuck, oh my God, I could have had that Seth Rogen role. Like, you know, like the fat guys are taking it over.
It's like, no, well, look, wait, but Seth Rogen didn't get the role. He's like, well, I mean, yes, of course, Sylvester Stallone got the role, but I was in first place, and then they started talking about Seth Rogen, and then that fucked it up, and now Sylvester Stallone has the role.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, to me, it is it is among the funniest things that happen during an election, is when people get all fired up about third parties, mostly because the only people who really should be bitching about third parties are people who work for those larger campaigns, because they need a reason to explain why they lost. Otherwise, it's like, what does it have to do with anybody else who's, you know, playing the game, except like, you know, your team wins or loses, but that happens all the time. It happens every election. Your team wins or loses.
Yeah, there was, I want to say Catherine Mangru Ward phrased it in a way that I hadn't heard before, which is, no vote matters. No one vote ever matters, period. All voting is a matter of self-expression. So if you are going to self-express, the only way to fuck that up is to express a thing you don't believe, which I thought had some poetry to it. I thought it was really good.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's whatever you want. Your job, you know, it's Coke versus Pepsi. It's their job to get people to drink Coke versus Pepsi. You can't, like, go up and, well, fucking get Faygo off the goddamn shelves. People might think that Faygo's good. Like, they should be buying Coke or Pepsi would have had that sale if Faygo weren't around.
Dr. Pepper, I don't see any diploma. Get the fuck out of here.
The thing that I've noticed the most is that this is the one political topic that I'm with you. I side with you guys on, right? Where it's like, no, it doesn't. The third party candidate did not steal anyone's vote. It's either they were going to vote for that person or vote for nobody. Right? That's pretty much the logical argument. It's the one, regardless of which side you're talking to, it's the one political topic you cannot speak with that rationale on to anybody who's on the other side of that issue, right?
And that's why we like to hide behind a microphone and just talk to a webcam. because then anyone who tries to respond, we can pretend to not read their comments.
But it's just like I've watched people who are friends lose respect for me a little bit when I start to come. And I don't even come out for or against a third party. It's just that third party. It's just my only argument is always, why is this 5 to maybe 5%, if that, section of the electorate more important to you than the 47% that don't vote?
Well,
that to me is the more important number.
And also, another point that came up was, let's say they do get to a 5, 6, 7% interest level, then all of a sudden one side or the other has to figure, oh wait, in order to win, I need to capture that 5, 6, 7%. In which case they take previously unpopular talking points and they have to race to see which of them can capture that so that they can become the winner, which means you still win with third-party candidates because they're bringing up stuff that nobody wants to talk about.
Yeah, ultimately, it's like this is kind of an outgrowth for me of my despising of the like just vote people. The just vote people.
Doesn't matter who you vote
goat.
for, Justin. Just vote.
Doesn't matter. Just vote.
Why don't politicians want you to vote? Why don't you rock the vote, Justin?
Why don't you? Yeah, it doesn't matter. It definitely doesn't matter. You can vote for anyone you want. Now, I'm voting for one person. And also, anybody who votes for the other person is a piece of garbage and dead to me. But vote for anyone. What's important is that you vote.
Oh, man, I'm so glad to hear that, bro. I taught me and my family, we all went out and we voted for this third guy because he agrees with everything that we believe.
You're worse than the other people that are already dead to me. You're more than dead to me. You're dead to me. I resurrect you. I kill you again because that is how double dead you are. Double dumbass dead on you because you are a piece of garbage. What I was really saying, how could I make it more clear? Vote for my guy. When I said vote for anybody, what I was clearly saying is vote for my guy. How could I make it clearer? It doesn't matter who you vote for. Just go and vote for my guy.
Justin, I really thought about it, and I went down the line. I looked at the issues, and I was like, but this guy gave more to me than your guy did, though. I put
my guy. So wait, all right. So then, thinking of that, who did you vote for?
Your guy.
Wait, what?
Would you vote for my guy?
I vote for my guy.
That's not my guy.
Yeah.
No.
Then your guy out of here. Oh my God. I'm trying to communicate and yet nobody seems to hear the words that are coming out of my mouth. I'm telling you that the biggest thing that matters in America is democracy. Your expression of free will that keeps us together. All I'm saying is vote for whoever you want. Just make sure it's everyone I agree with, and that's it.
If you're real quick, and I don't want to blow anything up because I hopefully by now it's clear that I don't have a side in this election because it's like vote for the decrepit old vampire or the decrepit old vampire. None of them can keep their teeth in.
Yes,
none of them can form a full sentence.
My decrepit old
vampire.
My decrepit old vampire, you son of a bitch. I'm saying the number one, vote for whoever you want. Immediate flow chart number 2, make sure it's my decrepit old vampire.
Oh my God. I think that's the part that I was a little bit sad is because it's like I did feel fairly authentically like even though yes I'd be throwing away a vote on Justin Amash, I could be all like, I didn't vote for a decrepit vampire who inappropriately grabbed people. It's terrible.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Don't worry. The decrepit old vampires deny the allegations.
Speaking of vampires, you're all caught up on that What We Do in the Shadows. Did you like the
I gotta catch up.
Jackie Daytona.
Jackie Daytona was pretty good.
Jackie Daytona is so good. What was funny was like I didn't pick up that it was Mark Hamill through the
Holy
like
shit.
about halfway through the
old
episode.
guy?
Yeah.
No, I totally missed that.
Oh, really? You didn't know that was Mark Hamill?
No. I could tell like is that supposed to be somebody famous? But I didn't want to pause to find out.
Yeah. Well, because he's doing such a great voice, and then you realize, oh yeah, Mark Hamill's done voice work for probably longer than he was like a super hot actor in the 70s and 80s.
That's amazing.
Foolproof human disguise for whenever the shit hits the wind. Makes me completely unrecognizable.
That nonsense on Staten Island, I cut loose to Pennsylvania because it sounded like Transylvania. We all know that sounds cool. I infiltrated the township posing as your average American Yankee Doodle dandy. And I took over Lucky Brew's Bar and Grill. The previous owner, he mysteriously disappeared because I killed him. I now go by the name of Daytona, Jackie Daytona.
It may have sprang from necessity, but now I feel as though I may never depart.
Yes, you are.
I am just a regular human guy.
Say you're from Tucson, but you talk all fancy and Europe-like.
This is the way we talk in Tucson, Arizona. Jackie Daytona has a major league plan. Talent show tomorrow, here in the pub. You can do some impersonations.
My wife.
There you go. Henry VIII.
Very scary.
But watch this.
How do you do that?
I won't goof it up. I promise. You can trust me. That's all I am. Just a regular human bartender.
Holy shit, you're right.
To tell the truth, I've been scouring the area for a while now. I'm hunting a shady character.
The tip for me would be the voice.
Shady
Because
character,
Mark
you say.
Hamill has one
Great
alt
point.
voice,
Laszlo's
and it's that
his
voice.
name.
No matter if he's doing the
Slippery
Joker
kid,
or
more
anything, it's
vile
always
than
that
the most
voice.
vile
growl.
villain.
Yeah.
A pestilence masquerading as a man.
Anyway, yeah. Guess what? Spoiler alert. Still a great show.
No, it's hilarious. This season is just another level.
Before
another
we
level
depart,
for that
can
show.
I give you guys a show to watch? Well, speaking of Hamill and Joker, even though Hamill's not in it, you gotta watch the Harley Quinn cartoon. If you haven't seen it,
I hear really good things about it.
it is so fucking good. I have, leave it this way. I laughed harder than I've laughed in months at 2 words Harley says in like 3 episodes ago. Fuck again? Like it's at that level now. We're just even the way they say simple shit makes me fucking howl. If you have not seen it, I cannot recommend that show enough.
Awesome. All right, well, that's it. We're up on the hour. We love you guys. Thank you for joining us for an hour that we made happy